What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the game never leaves G Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Ifs, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened, we reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Ifs.
Welcome back to Hip Hop What Ifs, the show where we discuss the many what ifs in hip hop history with my illustrious co-host 12 Kyle. How you doing, Kyle?
Chilling, man. Glad to be back in the building, man. Talking hip hop and just talking hip hop what ifs. But it's been a couple of weeks, man. Like I said, glad to be back.
Yeah. So we originally had a whole nother topic we're gonna use for the next episode, but we got news. Literally, Focus sent it to me. Oliver Power Grant, one of the founders of Wu-Tang Clan, passed away on February the 23rd, and we were like, we got to make an audible, man. And then I was like, the only other person I would want to talk to besides Kyle about the Wu and the power, the Wu with and power is my man Focus, the Focus Gallery. I mean, you could give him some of your background, man. I mean, you worked with Shrewd Marketing, worked for
TVT. Man.
Yeah, so
big Shrewd. Yeah, man. Peace, y'all. Y'all know me, man. I'm back around the neighborhood. It's your boy Focus. But yeah, I worked, man, Universal and Capitol Records accounts back in the early 2000s with Shrewd Marketing. Peace and rest in peace to Solo and all the tribe. You know what I'm saying? Finster, right? You know what I'm saying? All of the cats. I just a million people to list. But yeah, man, just a big avid Wu-Tang head. Been drawing Wu-Tang, been drawing the W on every piece of homework since the third grade. And you know what I'm saying?
My this daughter is the crazy thing. He's from Denver originally, right?
Yeah.
Ask him what neighborhood he's from, Kyle.
What neighborhood you from?
I'm from Park Hill by Park Hill.
It's a Park Hill, Denver, where black people live
Park Hill.
Yeah. So Park Hill was adjacent to Stapleton, which is crazy. So Stapleton was the airport in Denver.
Wow.
And the neighborhood that touched it was Park Hill. So we always said Park Hill by Stapleton. So it resonated with the music. It was like, oh, that's crazy. He's talking about us.
That's what's up.
So yeah.
Well, let's jump into it. What if Power did not give up that money originally to get Wu going? Where would this even be where we are today?
Not even close. Not even close. I don't even. The story of Wu-Tang, and you guys touched on a little bit before we came on, talking about the series that was on TV, which I thought was really good.
It was good.
I enjoyed it. I thought it, and it gave, a historical track of basically the formation of Wu-Tang as a collective and how they branched off individually and everything like that. But because I was in college at the time when Wu-Tang came out, and I just remember getting the 36 Chambers album. What was a CD, and it was a promotional CD. And what was interesting was we were playing in college. I played at South Carolina State University, and they gave it to us as a gift for a bowl game that we were playing in. And so everybody on the team got the CD, and nobody listened to it. When I tell you nobody listened to it, I knew dudes that threw the CD away because at the time, I think Protect Your Neck may have been out, but it was only in New York. So we didn't know. We were in South Carolina. So one of my teammates, my boy Mo, he was like, he said, man, you heard that Wu-Tang? And I was like, who the hell is Wu-Tang? He's like, remember the CD we got? He's like, check your bag. Because I took it out the bag and I stuck it in my suitcase and I didn't unpack. So I walked around with it for like 2 weeks, not even listening to it. And the first time I heard it, I was like, I couldn't, because you couldn't figure out who was rapping, and I didn't, okay, kids, full disclosure, kids, the internet didn't exist. So I didn't know anybody, and just really took a liking to the group, man. It was a fan literally from day one. And, but hearing this origin story and how, Power came to be where he was, and RZA and how, you know, the clan really formed. Yeah, if he does not make the moves that he makes, you know, they don't exist, and we never hear of any of them.
And it's interesting
because
RZA was able to make them be able to have, not RZA, but Power with that money, you know, wherever the money came from is wherever it comes from. But it was able to make them be able to have a little bit more flexibility and independence in what they were doing. You know, you got to remember, people may not know. So at first, RZA and GZA had a deal already. RZA had the deal. Was his with Tommy Boy?
I believe so. When he was talking about
Prince
Rakeem.
Yeah, I think that was on Tommy Boy. I think that was on Tommy Boy. And then GZA was on Jive, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, sound about right.
Because he was like was it like mathematics? It was like the genius, GZA the genius. I forgot how they was trying to flip them, but but if you remember, they both kind of flopped kind of on their solo endeavors.
Very much so.
So people was not messing with them at all, and they had more leverage because they came in already. Protect Your Neck was already popping. They were already kind of popping, and they literally not Matty C did help discover them, didn't he? From the source.
I thought it was Biggie with Matty C. I'm not sure. I don't know necessarily.
Biggie with Matty C.
Yeah, okay.
But they found him at the Steve Rifkin, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Rifkin.
Steve Rifkin.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Saw them at the Jack the Rapper, and was like, "Oh yeah, y'all." And the reason they was able to do that deal because he was like, "Dude, I ain't got that much. Even though my dad's got some bread, we ain't got that much." But they was like, "Oh no, that's cool. We'll take this kind of deal because of that." And they wouldn't have been able to have that flexibility if that money went back on them.
Right.
But go ahead, Focus. What you saying?
People that stand on money move a little different, man. And just like you said, wherever you source the I guess the structure or where the money's coming from or the fortification, it's exactly what it is, man. And so it doesn't. You're interviewing without needing a job, basically, kind of that kind of energy. So they had the economic the economy basically through power to move and demand what they needed to demand. And then there's power in numbers too. So you're like, all right, well, bet I got my man over here and he's making moves this way. My man is over here, they're making moves this way. Y'all ain't never seen nothing like this. And if I say no, nobody goes. So you know what I mean? Like they had it's just power in numbers, pun intended. But it doesn't happen without power, man. And then also the beef, like the guy that holds the keys is the guy that holds the money. So when he said y'all need to chill out with all the BS, we need to get to this business, it resonated differently with the crew because they weren't really even trying to turn it to a unit at first either. You know what I'm saying? They were letting street beefs hold up the process.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now when power was like, let's go, we going, they went. They made it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, just to have that vision. Power, just to piggyback off what you said, just to have that vision. I mean, because what he proposed and what we eventually got through, Wu-Tang and the record and the separate record deals that each guy had, that was unheard of. I mean, like it was unheard of in hip hop to have 9 MCs in a crew, in the same crew.
Right.
Now you might have, Juice Crew might have a guy over here, got Shantae over there, but no, 9 people, and we're going to put everybody on the album, and we're going to make you fight and compete to get on each song. And not only was that different, but to have individual deals for everybody in the group, that was unheard of. And really to bet on your group and then bet on yourselves. I mean, like I said, RZA always, and rightfully so, RZA gets a lot of credit, as he should, but Power was, known as the co-founder and, the big brain trust behind what we, came to know as Wu-Tang.
Yeah, him and Divine.
No doubt.
Yep.
Him and Divine. Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
With Wu coming into their prominence, it also, even though there were a lot of street people in the Wu, no doubt, but it was little, I would say, Power and Divine gave them a little bit of more regal street credibility of like, oh, these cats got a little bit of bread behind them. Like, it's a different thing though when you're a corner boy, and no disrespect to Ray and Ghost and those guys and what their hustle was, but Power and Divine had a little bit different than a corner boy feeling. It was like, we got it. We got a little bit behind us, so we gonna make some things happen.
Right.
Especially if you look back then, though, where all these different crews, especially coming from Staten Island, you had to come with all your own stuff.
You were the odd man out, man. Nobody was rocking with Staten Island. Yeah. Even kind of now outside of the connotation of Shaolin, Staten Island is still kind of the stepchild. But yeah, that's exactly right, man. They had a little juice behind them. That's what made cats receptive to it, man. Who was another crew that had a lot of people, but it wasn't a group? It was like Native Tongues, right? But it was like
but I mean everybody was everybody was different. So you had like Native Tongues, you would have Tribe, you'd have Daylight, but just one group. Yeah, nobody had that.
I mean, I guess Live Squad, right?
Nobody.
Not Live Squad. Would it be Live Squad?
But they weren't that deep though.
I mean, at least not from what I can remember. Red Man.
How many? You talking about Def Squad?
Def Squad. No, but it was before. It was something else Squad, and then it became Def Squad when EPND broke apart.
Right.
I think it was Live Squad.
But even then, it's still a crew of groups,
individual
as
artists.
opposed to one big group. I mean, having 9 members in a group
under one flag.
Yeah, exactly, under one flag. And
it was actually a comfort for you too, because you got to think about it. All 9 members had a crew of at least 4 or 5 people. So anywhere you went, it was 45 deep.
Right.
You didn't have to pay for security. Your crew is 45 deep.
No doubt. But you was burning through that budget though. I'm sure they were burning through that budget.
Oh no, the budget was getting burned through. But I mean, I'm not paying none of y'all, but I got all y'all food on deck. I got flights, whatever. Maybe a little $30-$40 per diem. But other than that, I'm not paying you. You here to fight. That's what you're here for.
Exactly.
And then they take it to another level, like from an economic standpoint, from a business standpoint, something we've never seen. We saw merch, right? We always saw merch. We saw T-shirts. We didn't see a machine the way Power,
and that is Power that created.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like things are crazy until you see somebody do it. And then we don't get Rockaware without Power.
No.
We don't get, you know what I'm saying? We don't get a lot of stuff without Power, man. So what was it? I'm trying to think of the address on the joint. I'm trying to run through the lyrics of the Garment Renaissance track. You know what I'm saying? But we don't get any of that. I think they made something like $5 million first year. Like this is coming straight out of.
I mean, at its height, it was making $25 million a year at its height.
Wow.
Come on, man. That's
just
crazy,
Woodward.
Bro.
Just Woodward.
Just the iconic.
Yep. W.
Yep.
Yeah.
You couldn't
Power
go anywhere.
said in the quote, he said he wanted to be identified as the W to be just identifiable as Nike and Gucci.
Well, it was, and I mean, in a lot of ways, it is. I have I recorded an episode. I haven't put it out yet on the Rap Soul podcast where I talk about famous logos in hip hop, and that's one of them. I mean, you don't even have to say anything.
Is it the most iconic logo in hip hop?
It has to be.
It's there. I mean, like that, along with Def Jam, Bad Boy, Death Row. Yeah. I mean, but as far as a group is concerned, I mean, I can't really think. I mean, Run DMC maybe, but this is the block letters and the name is spelled out. But just the logo.
But I think all the ones you just mentioned had letters in them. Like this doesn't. Like you could take
Public Enemy 2. Public Enemy 2.
Yeah, PE, definitely PE. Yeah, that made the list too. But it's not. You could make a case that Wu is right there because everybody knows that W. Everybody.
Yeah, I'm thinking now. Yeah,
it's iconic, man.
Man. I remember living here when I moved here to Atlanta in 97, and I think right around 98, 99, somewhere around that time, they opened up a Wu Wear store on Peachtree Street downtown. And when I tell you, it was like a club. There was always a line to get into the store, and the store had upstairs and downstairs, but it wasn't. It wasn't that spacious, but it was enough space. It was enough space for you to conduct business, and there was also enough space for you to party because they had a live DJ upstairs, and they eventually
every day.
Yes, every day, every day. When it opened up at 10 o'clock in the morning, the DJ was spinning. And there was I never drove past there and there wasn't a line. I mean, like if you drove past there, you would think that you'd be like, well, why is this club open at 10 o'clock in the morning?
It's not a club, it's a store.
And what was interesting was like there was the Wu-Wear store sat on the corner, and then there was a parking lot, and then right next to the parking lot was a Gladys Knight chicken and waffle spot. And the chicken and waffle spot didn't have the kind of crowd that the Wu-Wear store had. It was crazy. I went in there a couple of times, man, and it felt like a club because you walk in, women are in there, and all the women were in there to get the ice cream shirts.
The butter pecan.
Yeah. Listen, and they couldn't keep them on the shelf. They couldn't keep them on the shelf, man. That store was when I tell you it was jamming every time I went in there. It was a sight to see.
And it's interesting. You saying that, you got to think that Power was managing him and Divine. I know there was, especially in the Mice and Men documentary, it was alluded to that basically everybody's kind of pissed off at Divine. Like that was kind of. I mean, can we say that? Like,
of course.
Like he did all his interviews by himself. You know what I'm saying? The whole rest of the clan together. Divine on like a boat, sitting outside a boat or something. If I remember correctly, doing his interviews. So it felt like everybody was like, Divine be on that bullshit. Now, Power interviewed in there?
I think he was. I'm almost certain.
Was he?
I think so. It's been a minute since I've seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a minute.
I saw it when it came out.
Yeah, I saw it as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm trying to see now. No, he was not in there.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember.
He was not in there. Because I know him and Divine fell out a little bit over the Wu-Wear situation or whatever. But you got to think Power and Divine, they had to manage 9 different cats, egos, things like that to keep things moving, along with Capadonna coming along. That's really 10.
That's 10. Yeah.
Well, you might as well say 12 because ODB was probably 3 people himself.
That alone.
Listen, him alone. That's my favorite man. I'm not gonna say he's the best, but he is by far my favorite member of the Wu. God bless the dead, man. I love that dude.
I think everybody in the Wu would agree with you too.
Yes.
So he came to my crib. Me and he came to my crib. We was just hanging out one night, and I don't know how we came up on a Wu-Tang Clan after show in Atlanta from like 97. Crazy. And it's like 2.5 hours long. And Old Dirty is so drunk on this thing. They were getting mad at him because he would just start, I'm sorry, he got the Hennessy, and you're like, yo, it's in the middle of meth rhyming, like, doing the joint with the jizza joint, and he's doing his thing, and he goes,
you talking about Liquid Swords, bro? Or
the song Liquid Swords, the meth song on there.
Yeah, I keeps it moving. Yeah.
And he all up there. Dude. And then it looked like Ghost was finna slap.
He probably was.
Oh, they was 100%.
I'm almost certain those dudes. They probably fought a lot that we don't even know about. They fought a lot because they like brothers, and and Dirty was just that one dude, man. I tell people all the time, he's that one cousin that we all got. That just can't get right. Extremely talented, but just can't get right. Always into something, and very apologetic, but very loving. And you just you love him to death. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He would have got on my nerves too.
Yeah, for sure.
But I definitely would have done everything in my power to be around him. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Saying?
No doubt.
Yeah, you knew it wasn't ever gonna be a dull moment when ODB is around, when A-Son is around.
Yes.
But
I love hearing stories that we haven't heard, from things that he did or said back in the day. Because, nobody walked around with a bunch of cameras like we do now. But just hearing the stories about him, especially during his prime, man, every one of them are funny. Man. Every one of them.
Man. I like the one where Ghost is like, the first time I met the guy, he asked me for a piece of my sandwich. He was like, yo, let me get a piece of that, son.
I heard this story. This story's hilarious.
He's like, he was like, that's the best sandwich I've had in my life.
I mean, Dirty was
Yeah,
so
man.
crazy. They said that all his kids necessarily may not have been all his own kids, though. So, like, he was
Probably
doing
not.
similar to like BB King. Like, I don't know if you noticed, BB King, if you just came up there and said like you was his kid, he was like, all right, cool, I guess you my kid. And that was kind of how ODB was. So they was like, some of his kids might not even be his real kids. Like,
I mean,
if a woman said that we had a kid, he was like, I guess you my kid.
Listen, he told you he liked it raw, so he knew he had kids out there.
Said it.
So he wasn't going. It went no need to go to court to debate it. He looked like a little bit like me, so he got to be my kid. I like it raw.
Yeah,
I like it raw. I mean, you gotta think Power's got to manage all this. You know, then you have to manage. And I think about it of like managing. To a certain extent, I always wonder: do we need to give more love to Meth? Because he could have been on some diva shit and be like, I'm out of here. I'm going solo early. Mm-hmm. He could have. Yeah, he had the name. He had the late Def Jam was pushing him. He had the Month of Man going on. He already had another partner with Redman, which he did go off and do things with him. Right. But he could have easily been like, I'm not doing another Wu album.
He's always kept it Wu. Yeah.
Always. Team player. Always.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, even if you when you hear him talk about, he didn't want the song Method Man on the 36 Chambers album because it was like he never wanted to be like the guy in the front, the star. And I can't remember, was it the show? It might have been one of those documentaries where they went, I think, to like Tokyo or something like that.
Show. That's the show. Okay.
And him and you got into an argument about, you know, him doing talking during the interview.
Talking too much. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, look, I went to the radio station by myself. He was like, well, you should have gone by yourself because you do all the talking. And you could kind of see where there was a little dissension there. But then U-God was somebody who at the time he was in and out of the group because he was in and out of jail. And so, Meth became the de facto superstar. And then ladies started thinking, finding him as a sex symbol. And he didn't ask for that. All he wanted to do was rhyme. And he wanted to rhyme with his brothers.
I think that sex symbol thing came from the You All I Need, though.
Of course.
I don't know any. I would say the majority of women that found out who Meth was, they didn't find out about him to the Mary J. Blige joint.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
If he never did that, and even more the video remix version where they dumped because the original version was just him singing. It wasn't even Mary on there.
Right.
So, and it's 3 versions actually. You got the Diddy version. Then remember, RZA came back and remixed it again.
Yeah. The RZA remix is cold. The RZA remix is cold. I love the RZA remix.
It is cold.
No, it is.
It is cold.
But the thing is though, it's weird. That's the video version, but when you hear it on the radio, it's the Diddy version. That's the version you hear more of the time. But with that, you got to think Power and them are like, man, all right, how do we keep this dude satisfied within the group? Def Jam trying to have him do this Month of Man with Red. They're going to another level, and there's a whole other stream of income and things going on with him and Redman. Yeah. And Lord knows Def Jam didn't know that was going to happen. They didn't. They couldn't have predicted that chemistry between them two would be like that. But you always made sure he came back and it was a place for him in the clan. And you got to think about even other people. GZA. GZA thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, so he's going to have his way about stuff. And then RZA thinks he's the godly third person. I'm just thinking of all egos that you have to manage.
There's ego, and then everybody started having their individual success. And I know you guys talked about it in reviewing the Wu series, but I mean, like, one of the biggest what ifs that we ever could think about in hip hop was, what if RZA, didn't have that flood in his basement?
Yeah, we're gonna do that another. We're gonna definitely do that another episode for sure.
Inspector Deck's, album, what it could have been, and what we got wasn't bad.
I think about that so much. I think about that way too much. Like even in 2026, I think.
But it came out like 6 years later, though. It came out like 5 6 years later. And it came out to like 99, 2000.
You just don't know what that was. Yeah. And it was good, but it wasn't. I don't know that it was what he had made, So
I don't think
he was sounding loud, right? He was sounding loud directly, or who was he sounding?
I think he was.
And I guess the thing that did help Meth is, and ODB too, is that they were signed to outside labels that forced RZA to have to redo all that stuff fast. Like to get it, like, you know, Electra's hitting them about Dirty, like that's cool. You had that flood, but Dirty's album is due in 3 months, and then Meth's album's due in 6 months. You know, you need to get on it or whatever. Actually, it's probably reversed because Meth came out first, so Meth album is due, and then I think GZA was on like Geffen or something. He wasn't even on because the only people on Loud was
Wu as a group. I think
the group was
Loud and Razor Sharp.
Ghostface and Raekwon were. Okay. Capadonna was, and maybe some of the other clan, but the only ones that I know, ODB, GZA, and Meth were not signed signed to Loud. Actually, this is the website. I know they can do that.
And you know, the interesting thing is like you said, just being able to manage that. But even going back to Inspector Deck's album, it did come out and it was good. Don't get me wrong, but I think
I enjoyed it. Man. Yeah,
it just didn't. I think the time where he was at his hottest, at his peak, that's the time it should have come out, and it didn't, and that's what hurt it.
Yeah,
because even to this day, when you hear his verse on Triumph, you're reminded that's one of the best verses that we've heard in hip hop. Period. When you rank it doesn't matter.
Man, just imagine a whole album full of Bomb Atomic. Like, golly, man. You kidding me?
A whole album of that.
And he's got a lot of the crazy thing. Like, I mean, he gets left off the track on Pac's album.
Oh, with Pac? Oh man,
yeah. So he kept left off on that. Like, I'm just saying, man, it's not the Deck, man.
You hear that verse,
even
you know
in the
why.
The Men, you can tell, like he feels the type of way.
Exactly.
When you hear that verse, you know why. Pac was like, "Nah, I can't have this dude." He spazzed on that.
Yeah,
I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, "Why is this not on the album?" But then I know why.
Was it not Corrupt was like, somebody asked Corrupt, he was like, why did he take him off the album? And Corrupt was like, because Pac was just mean, bro. He's just mean. He heard his verse. He didn't like it. He liked it. He said he wanted to go last, but he didn't go last. Because wait a minute.
No, he goes first. Oh no, he doesn't go first.
Nah.
I think he goes.
He goes second.
I'm not. Yeah, I think
he goes second. Nah, because Red wraps it up.
But even that, you know, and did he still get paid for it?
Yeah.
Did Deck still get paid for that?
I hope so, man. Because
so
I don't know.
That's crazy.
The reason I don't know is because that was just something that was supposed to be on the Dog Pounds album.
Yep. Yep. Sure was.
When Pac got out of jail, they just start throwing tracks at him because they needed him to have something. Yeah.
So the last verse
Corrupt was good.
Redman does end it. Redman does end it.
Okay.
Oh, his verse is crazy. Lyrical cats spitting the criminal tactics. Non-believers get my dick and genitals backwards. Let's face it, there's no replacement. Taste this, mad underground basement. Shit I lace with. Oh my goodness. I got connected to Federal Express to get the fresh packet of Blessed. The dogs can't fetch. Like,
honestly, that was a great way to end the song.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
It was.
And then if we talk more about Power then flips it and he gets to start acting.
Yeah, he jumps in Belly.
He jumped in Belly and he's in Black and White.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Who else was in Black and White? Ray was with him. Yeah. Yep.
So he plays
he got a sad card.
Belly. And I wonder who was like, yo, you know what? You should act.
I mean, why not? At that point, why not? You're doing everything else. You're handling the business side of movies. Yeah, huge money.
This is a money. Exactly. This is a money guy, man. He's like, all right, what other avenues can we put the flag in? You know, especially as an affiliate. Brand. Yeah.
So he was one of the executive producers on Black and White. So he was putting up some of the bread. So that's why he was in that for sure.
There you go. EP.
I ain't mad at it.
I mean, he had to. I mean, it was knowledge on the phone. Man, he's the one, and I didn't realize it because he's the one that caused Meth to bring Meth in to try to help get them boys. And then and that's Meth's first acting role as well. Wow. So Power puts on Meth.
Amazing.
Crazy
when you think about
that. And Meth is still getting his SAG checks, man.
You know what? No. His first acting role technically was on the episode of Martin, where he robbed him.
Damn, I don't remember that.
Where he robbed him, where he thought that Gina and them was trying to prank him.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, and he was like, he helped them bring the stuff down to the
car. Yep.
Wow. But a real acting role, Power put him on for Belly. Like, so think about all
he's still doing it.
Meth.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
Howard's the one that put him on with that.
I just watched the movie that he did with Kelly Rowland, the rom-com.
Oh, how was that?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was predictable, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And it was good seeing Meth in a different type of role.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, it was good seeing him in that type of role. And I think he has range, man. I didn't look at him like, this is Method Man coming in. He came off as very real. So I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
just watched that last week.
Good track. Good movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So power. I mean, think about that, man. If you draw a chart, right, or a tree, and just connect all the branches to things that go back to power, it's like you got to be.
He also did the Wu-Tang video game that came out on PlayStation in '99.
Wow.
Yo,
he produced that.
Wow.
See that,
man?
Anything to generate some revenue.
Yeah.
And flex that creative muscle and keep it legit, because he knew how to do that. He knew how to get creative. He watched his old man be creative the whole time and keep it legit too. On a hustle tip. He watched hustle in his house. And it's just like, we talked about it a little bit earlier, man. Like your imagination is limited by what you've been exposed to. If you're exposed to hustle early, you're like, if I could do that, that means I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
If I could do this, maybe I can convince them to jump on board with me to do this.
Right.
And I see something in him, and now he's quarterback, and now he's even more than quarterback, and now he's Geppetto with it, low key. You know what I'm saying? With the whole situation. And then to have the money to make it happen. It's a powerful dude, man. It's a powerful dude. I wonder how many powers we walk by every day, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't know, again, by exposure, what you've been exposed to. Like, we all have something in us that we probably could maximize a little bit. Even the young heads, man. I look at the young kids, and I'm like, that kid, what if it's him? What if it's him? At one point, Power was 7 years old. At one point, Power was 3 years old. And he was just getting it out the mud. He was jumping off the porch like everybody else. And then something clicked. And he said, and we got the benefit. We got to watch the theater, the stage of Power just kind of turn into the things that we, you know what I'm saying, that became the soundtrack or the fashion department of our lives, you know what I'm saying, in a certain part of our lives. And so, Power, man. What an appropriate name for the brother, man.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, no, because
very fitting. Very fitting.
Yeah. Very fitting.
And it probably at first, I wanted people was like, man, I ain't calling you no Power. Until you start, you know, coming around.
Because he wasn't.
Okay, he is powerful.
was he 5%?
Yeah, it gotta be.
Yeah, had to be.
Because I'm gonna say it's pretty common up there anyway. You know, in New York, to have a name like that, I think cats would have called him that, just based on the strength of you know what I'm saying, how
I would,
Cats
yeah, I
was
would think
moving
so.
up there.
I would definitely.
Because you
think
got
so.
a cat name. His man is divine.
Right.
You got divine. You got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, a lot.
So his brother's in Killer. His brother's in Killer Army. Power's brother is Killer Son in Killer Army.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Wow. Yeah,
that's right. Talk about affiliates,
that's crazy,
man. How much you think Power had to do with all of the affiliates? I know RZA gets a bad rap from the core group. You know what I'm saying, about the affiliate situation. How tapped in was Power with all the affiliates? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think he was. I mean,
Gravediggers.
He strikes me as somebody who probably had his hand in just about every Wu thing, because of the level of respect, you know, and where he was in his position in the clan, you know, and not to say that he told them what to do, but I'm sure like they bounced a lot of ideas and stuff off of him, and so he was tapping in on each one and then learning. And keep in mind now, they're all around the same age, so it's not like he's you know, the OG who's 10 years older learning the game and he's kind of filtering it down to them. Everybody's learning at these stages and they're growing. And I mean, like, we're talking about roughly a 30-year career. And he did it very quietly. I mean, we know because we're fans, obviously, but he did it very quietly and a lot of times behind the scenes. But he was the backbone of Wu-Tang. And I don't think that you can speak of Wu-Tang without mentioning Power. And that says a lot. And there were, unfortunately, there were a lot of people when they found out that Power had passed that didn't know his story, but they're getting to hear his story now through, you know, a lot of mediums and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nah,
so do you think?
100%. And that's,
I guess people wouldn't know. I mean, unless they were fans of the Wu like that. But you know him because, like we talked about, he got the clothing out there. He got the logo out there. He got. I mean, even though I believe Mathematics made the logo.
So,
Math made the logo. Yep.
Yeah, but he's the one that made it pushed out where it's a worldwide. It's like the Nike swoosh at this point. Like he wanted it to be.
Man.
I mean, you got
it
like
is. It's exactly right.
I still think Wu-Tang shirts are $50-$60 just for the plain nothing special on it.
When you think about it, I mean, like we talked about it a little earlier. When you think about it, like his involvement and his direction of the Wu Wear store and Wu merchandise, you know, we didn't have a lot of artists at that particular time who were dealing in merch, their own merch.
Right.
You know, it's one thing for you to be, you know, pushing Adidas or Nike or whatever the case may be. Russell and Fat Farm was probably just bubbling at the time. You know, I'm trying to think of some of the icon. Master P Miller gear, I don't think was really a thing at that particular time. I know Fubu was out.
It did okay.
Fubu was out, but it wasn't big like that. So, you know, to what Focus said a little earlier, like if you don't have the success of this particular brand, I remember Naughty by Nature did they had Walkerwear, and you know they had their own Naughty gear or whatever like that, but it wasn't, and it was big for especially for hip hop because they were some of the first artists that I remember seeing in their own
April
gear.
Walker did Walkerwear. April Walker.
And so that was something that they pushed. So it wasn't theirs per se.
Exactly.
So, but I mean, to have your own clothing line and then to have your own stores set up in certain cities, that was unheard of, man. And it was successful. You know, egos and things got in the way of, you know, the long-term success. But, you know, I don't necessarily know if you don't see Wu-Tang have that kind of success as far as merchandise is concerned. How do we know that Jay-Z is going to have, you know, Rockaware years later? How do we know that Fat Farm is going to take off the way that it did? Urban Gear wasn't something that was exactly Puff and Sean John. That wasn't something that was like as prevalent as it is today.
Now everybody's got a t-shirt.
Everybody got
what I
merch.
mean? You could design it, sell it, then press it after you get the money for it. Now, but back in the day,
so the story goes, Power cut up the Wu shirts that were already made to give out to the young ladies for the ice cream video. These are regular Wu shirts that he cut up in the back and gave them out to like 5 or 6 women.
Man, listen, I remember my girl saw the video for ice cream, and that's the first thing she said. She was like, "I want one of those shirts." She was like, "I need a butter." I was like, "You ain't Puerto Rican." You want a Puerto Rican for?
So I guess the cameos in here are weird. Sam Snead, if y'all remember Sam Snead, they used to be on. Sam Snead is in here. Shaheem, Tyson Beckford, Soul for Real, and Irv Gotti are the cameos besides Wu members.
Peace to Shaheem, man.
Yeah,
Shaheem is Wu.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rugged child.
The rugged, you know what I'm saying? That's right.
That shit is real beat. Is still one of the hardest beats to me off that second Shaheem album. That
was a good album.
That shit is real.
That was a good album.
But Power, like you got,
that was the Man-Child album, right? Yeah.
And sometimes Wu got overbloated, I would say. I mean, there was so many people, man. I mean, at some point we had Killer Bees, Killer Army, Wu Gambinos.
Hey, man. But we're fans, so we didn't mind. I mean, like, you supported the Wu. You supported the Wu because think about it like this. I don't exactly, and like I don't even remember a lot of people who didn't. If you bought Dirty's album, you bought Mess album. You bought Mess album, you bought Rave. You bought Rave, you bought Ghost. If you bought Ghost, you bought RZA. If you bought RZA, you bought Just. Like, I don't know very few people who are Wu-Tang fans that don't have like everybody's album. And then subsequently, when the Killer Bees came out, we got that. When the Killer Priest came out, we got that. When they finally got around to getting Capadonna's album out, we got that. When You God came out,
the Pillars.
Yes, I got it.
Was crazy.
I got it, man. I got all those albums still to this day. Or CDs, I should say, but I got them, and that's just how we were.
Yeah,
I know we supposed to be talking about Power, but what was the one that pissed everybody off? The Silver Rings.
Who was it?
Yeah, Silver Rings or something like that. It was one of RZA's.
The one that pissed me off was
the Gravediggers.
That came out before INS. That's what pissed INS off.
Yeah. The one that pissed me off was Raekwon's second album, Immobilarity.
Yeah, St. Louis has something to do with that.
Well, I will blame St. Louis then, because
no. St. Louis and produced 7 of the tracks on there.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the city.
I mean, he's from here, so we was down bad. We was down bad for a minute. We was down bad for a minute.
Well, I'm not gonna put all the blame on him because it was a lot of blame to go around. So
I don't even think RZA produced anything on there. I believe, right?
I don't think so either, and at least not the album. I don't necessarily know how bad it was because I'll be honest, I can't even remember going back and listening to it again. It was just. I heard it a couple times.
It's so disappointing because we were coming off of Built for Cuban Links. We've been it kept getting pushed back too, if y'all remember. It kept getting pushed back.
Yeah.
And then I remember getting it, and I remember shout out to Boogie, man. You met him, Focus. Me and him were sitting there after we listened to it. We saw it stress. We were trying to figure out a way for this to be an okay album. We were like in denial. Like, okay. If they move track 8 to number 2,
you can't. They do that. They don't. Yeah, it don't work like that.
If we restructure the album, it's not that bad, right?
Nah, it don't work. Now you're talking like a fan,
right? But we were. I was a freshman in college. He was a
for sure.
Junior.
I understand.
And we were trying to figure out a way to make this right.
We did the same thing, man. We listened, and then you call your homeboy. Hey, man, what you think? I don't know about this one, man. I don't know.
Figure out because I think it was one track on there that was my favorite, but that doesn't mean it's a good album. It just means that was the least bad. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, I had a
but I try to give them. I said, well, you know what, man, everybody can have a dud because the run of great albums that they had from 36 Chambers to Dirty's first joint to Mess first joint. I mean, almost everybody's first. The Jizza, that first album is crazy.
Crazy.
Cuban Link's always going to.
First dud. He's the first dud.
Who? Which one?
The Immobilier is the first dud in the Wu.
Yeah, for sure. Because they had a run.
Yeah.
They had a run, and then they came back with the double album, which was dope. And so the height of Wu-Tang. I mean, you still can't. Not very few people can touch it. I'll just put it like that.
When was Supreme Clientele? That joint.
That was 90, 97.
I tell 2000.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Because it came out after Immobiliarity because we had to get the grime off our mouth from the
listen. Ghost had a nice run with a couple of albums, man. His Ghost's discography doesn't get talked about a lot, but Ghostface, he's going to deliver every time. And if you're a Ghostface fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He ain't gonna disappoint.
Yeah.
Even this last album that he had come out last year was dope.
It was dope.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope. Razor was good too. I mean, like they didn't disappoint. They didn't disappoint at all.
Yeah, so Immobiliarity comes out in November of 99, and then Built for Cuban Links not Built for Cuban, Supreme Clientele came out that February of 2000.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what they knew when Immobiliarity, they knew they had to come right back. Right back.
Yeah,
like,
I felt like he was on his heels too, because I was like, because I just remember that it was just like it was crazy.
And then they came back with what was it? Ghost. Ghost had a couple of them. Bulletproof Wallets, Fish Scale.
Do y'all consider that Bobby Digital album a flop, or was that straight?
It was okay. I actually liked it. It wasn't that bad but I'll put it like this: my expectations were. I mean, come on, it's RZA, so you're not expecting him to bomb atomically. So, so I liked it, but a lot of people some of my friends they didn't like it. But I guess I was the oddball. I actually liked it.
But I mean, I guess we can't say that the Immobiliarity is the first Wu dud, though. At least,
yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, it always took me like 2 or 3 times with Bobby to. I was like, yo, he's spitting, bro. Like, if you listen to it, like if you internalize what he's saying, it's just like, yo, dude is crazy. He just he doesn't deliver. His delivery isn't compatible to the level of bars that he actually kind of has. I was like, yo, this cat actually spitting. But yeah, it always took me 2 or 3 times to digest. You know what I'm saying? RZA's shit. But,
makes sense.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it makes total sense.
Yeah, Power,
man.
It's crazy. What's crazy is he ran the Wu-Tang brand Instagram. It looks like got 1.1 million followers,
wow.
and he's not even pushing the brand like that. I don't know any other urban brand that it's been out that long that has 1 million people following. Like that's just not possible.
That brand is going to live for a long time. And I mean, when they come out and they do shows, people come to see them. I mean, like me and my oldest son, we went and saw Wu and Nas. Was it 2019? That was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. Period. And to have my son with me, who, growing up, because I played Wu-Tang and I played Nas for him, he became a fan. So, and I mean, like we were just, it was a beautiful thing, man. I almost broke into tears when Nas was,
no doubt.
Nas was up there rapping, and we were just going bar for bar, just rapping to each other. And it just reminded me just the power of hip hop when you can pass it. And you didn't really think about passing hip hop on to your kids because, hip hop wasn't there to be passed from our parents to us because most of our parents didn't understand that rapidy rap shit. So
wasn't trying to hear it.
I remember one time my dad came and picked me up college, and I had some CDs I had a CD in the passenger seat, and he grabbed the CD. He said, "Hey, who is Old Dirty Bastard?" And why is he? Why he's looking at the CD? He's like, and why is he a dirty bastard? Is this the kind of music you listen to, son? I was like, Dad, just put it back there. Just put it in the back seat.
You
I
don't
can't explain.
understand.
Yeah, you don't
understand.
You don't understand. I couldn't even imagine me trying to explain to him in a car ride who and what Old Dirty Bastard was.
I mean, I guess the thing he says his style is so ill, he has no father. That's why he's an old dirty bastard.
But see, here's the thing.
Would have offended the OGs probably.
Exactly. And you don't know my dad. So my dad would say the next question gonna be, well, hey, if there's no father to his style, play his music. And if I'd have played ODB,
okay.
He would have been like, son, I don't understand none of this shit.
What would
we still laugh about that to this day.
What would you have played if you had to? If I was like, go ahead, throw me some now. Like,
I probably would have. I would have just messed his head up. I'd have played Rawhide and just and just messed his head
right
up.
in there. Drop him right.
There's no explanation for Rawhide. You just got to listen.
Do or nothing.
No, I'm taking him right there. I want him. If you want to listen, I'm gonna put you on Shaolin, and I'm gonna put you right in those Park Hill projects and let you listen and try to figure it out. So, and me and my dad, we still laugh about that to this day.
He's like, what were you? The old dirty bastard.
And it's you muted. You muted yourself.
Turn your mic on, man. You good?
I don't know how he muted himself, but I guess we can keep it going.
Yeah.
With you, Focus, is there a particular moment in like the history of Wu? I know you guys, like D said, you guys talked about it on the Wu series. Is there a particular moment in Wu history that just like really just stands out to you?
Wow, man. Well, outside of ODB's speech after he went and bought the outfit. You know, for me, man, it
costed a lot of money.
It costed a lot of money. I just wanted to come out and say, because I bought this outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's the moment for me. That's the moment for me. I can't even front.
Yo, that's undefeated, man. I want that kind of energy. I want that kind of confidence, man. Nah,
undefeated.
For me, cinematically, fam, it was because this is the era of music videos. Mm-hmm. It was Protect Your Next video. And I was like, yo, I'm looking at it and it's just gritty. The audio is gritty, the visual is gritty. I'm seeing these dudes. They didn't get fly for the video.
No.
These cats looked like they was not even close. And they was spitting. And I was like, man, and it was, I don't know if it was refreshing. I don't know what it was, but it grabbed my attention. And that was my moment right there. It was the music video. It was right after you got your CD in your bag at the game, right? I saw it on TV. Right. And I was like, what in the world is this? Like, what is it, right? And it was just like, it was one of them things that was captivating enough where I locked in on it. And then growing up, I used to draw logos. I still draw logos. I draw, you know what I'm saying? And so Chicago Bulls logo, a lot of things with symmetry, I think. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking back at it, Wu-Tang was one of those things. And my name starts with W. My first name is William. And so I would draw the W, and I would put a crown on the side, like kind of cocked ace deuce on it. I could draw for you right now, but it's like this, and it's like this, and it had this ribbon underneath it because I learned how to do like texture, like fabric renderings, right? So I do this ribbon, and you draw and you kind of expand it out. So I had this W with this ribbon, with this cock, with this crown, with this sword that went through the middle of it, and that was what I used for everything.
Okay.
And so like this is middle school for me. You know what I'm saying? So yes, this is what 9-6 is. 9-6, I'm 13. 9-4. 9-4. This is early in the game. So I started drawing that kind of stuff. And I said it evolved into the W with the sword and the crown and the ribbon. And I would always put Master William at the bottom. I always used to put, because my godmother called me Master William.
Okay.
And it sounded like it was Wu-Tang anyway. I was like, oh, that works.
The master.
Yeah, that's it. That was it.
That's
and then
what's
so
up.
like it became a part of my fiber, my fabric, my DNA almost, man. It's like, and then they kept, like you said, you kept dropping these classics on classics and classics. And I'm like, yo, I learned so much. I learned that the sun was 93 million miles away from the earth. By listening to these guys, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, you could almost be a half 5% of listening to Wu-Tang album.
You could.
For real.
Yes, sir.
What was the Wu-Tang moment for you, D? Your
Man, yeah, my
mic's back on.
Yeah. I'm man. I ain't on front, man. Triumph, man.
Yeah.
Like just their rollout.
The song or the video or both?
The video.
Okay.
The video, because this is like, it's like
didn't they spend like $1 million to do that video?
Yeah, easy. They had like
the first $1 million video was Triumph.
Crazy. And it's worth it.
Crazy. Oh, still worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about earlier in that, it was for me, it would be Meth with Method Man, because I actually back in the day when before I heard Protection Net, I heard Method Man on the box.
Okay.
They were
shout out to the box.
People kept requesting on the box. I was like, I like this dude, blah blah. And then somebody, older cat, was like, man, you heard that Protect Your Neck from the group? I was like, it's a group? I thought it was just one guy, because all I heard was Method Man, META. I was like, it's a group. And then I went back. I ended up finally hearing Protect Your Neck, and I'm like, oh, looks like I need to get this album. Where is it at? When is it coming out? And then when you pick it up, you get the mystery of chest box, all this weird esoteric shit going on with the, because you got Method Man, and even Protect Your Neck doesn't have that much of the Asian influence in it as much. You just think it's just some cats rapping,
right?
But then when you get the album, you're getting into all these different things, these skits and stuff.
It takes you a minute to figure it all out, because and I tell people all the time, like, we were listening to it and we don't know anybody, so I don't know Ray's voice. I don't know Ray any different from RZA, and it's interesting because like on Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With, they shout out Morgan State, and Morgan State was in our conference, so I was like, damn, these niggas in college. I was like, oh shit, like I didn't know.
And you was mad as hell, like, they went to Morgan State.
I was like, man, they go to Morgan State. I was like, maybe they'll see it, because we got to play Morgan in a couple of weeks. Maybe we'll see him at the game.
Maybe we'll see him.
Man, so we didn't know. And again, we didn't have the internet. So this is, and
honestly, the one that really kicked them off is Cream. Cream really took them over the top.
No question.
That's what took them over the top. It was just, and then you got Meth on that too. So it's like
Meth is the illest. Nate Dogg, I think we talked about this. Nate Dogg, Method Man. As far as like hook writers,
man, listen.
Like, oh man, I was listening to the Garment Renaissance joint, talking about power. Ain't what you want, baby. It's what you need, baby. You know what I'm saying?
He's not rapping on that.
I mean,
he doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
He ain't rapping on ice cream either, but he got the hook. and it's the hook that everybody knows, and he's trying to be low key in the video, and the ladies are loving him in the video. I mean,
he couldn't get away from them ladies in that video.
He not at that point. At that point, he was Method Man for real.
Yeah, like it's no way you're gonna get away from that, brother.
It's still, and we talked about it a little earlier. And I hate to steal D. I know I'm stealing the show.
No, you
talked about it a little earlier. It's so surreal that power would pass on a day where we hear that Wu-Tang gets nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it's funny because when I saw the list of the people who got nominated, I mean, to me, you can make a case for everybody, obviously, that they put up there, but Wu-Tang and New Edition for me, I mean, like,
and to me, Sade too, man. Like
Wu-Tang, Sade, Luther, which I was surprised Luther Vandross not in the Rock and Roll.
I was saying, like, low key, this could be a banner black year, like real talk. Because even the white bands on there are bands. You like, okay, all right, Iron Maiden, all right, the Black Crowes,
but you can make a case for them. I'm surprised. I thought Mariah Carey was already in. She's probably a shoe-in to get in.
You think so? Just because she's so popular.
This is the list.
Yeah, you see it.
I gotta. I ain't seen the list. I gotta pull the list up.
Yeah, pull it up. Pull it up.
Yeah,
it's
you guys.
It's Sade, Luther Vandross, Wu-Tang, New Edition. I want to say Wu-Tang is the only hip hop act. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get in. But having gotten in Run DMC, NWA, Outkast, Tribe's in, right? Yeah, Tribe's in. Over these last couple of years, I think Wu-Tang is going to get in. I would love to see them all get in, but I mean, I don't know how many people they let in and don't let
Phil
in.
Collins. Okay, here's the list. Here's the total list.
Phil Collins definitely.
Jeff Buckley, great. Phil Collins, Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, NXS, New Edition, Pink, Shakira, Luther Vandross, and Wu-Tang Clan. So those are the first-time nominees. So returning nominees. Mariah Carey is a returning nominee. So she didn't get in last time. Oasis, Black Crowes, Billy Idol, Iron Maiden, Joy Division, New Order, and Sade. So this is the second time Sade's been on it too. So those are your thing.
I probably could make a case for everybody but Pink and Melissa Etheridge. And that's no knock on them, but I mean everybody else.
I'm surprised Pink made this list, to be honest with you.
I mean,
I didn't know she put in enough work to get on this list.
She has. Now Lauren is gonna be
about to say.
Lauren is gonna be the wild card because
you can't do it. You can't let someone in off one album, one solo album.
Bro, as much as I want to see Lauren, I ride for Lauren. I ride for her, but it's one album, bro.
Well, I mean, are we counting the Fugees album too?
Yeah, but you need to let the Fugees in.
About to say exactly.
Man, probably in jail, man. He ain't getting in.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Wyclef has done enough.
Yeah, yes, Clef has definitely done enough to get in. So I'd be surprised if Lauren got in or just on her own. But I like I said, I can make a case for just about everybody. Personally, if Wu and New Edition get in, I'm good. That's all I need to see.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Those are my guys.
I gotta see Sade get. If Sade, this is her second time up too.
If Sade want to come outside to come into the Hall of Fame, Sade don't come outside.
But that'll get her to come outside, unless she didn't want to come outside. And they asked, "Are you gonna come outside?" And she's like, "No." And they're like, "Okay, cool. We're gonna let you win."
But yeah,
is there a virtual option?
Yeah, exactly. Option, so. Yeah, but I thought that was fitting, and also a little because I'll be honest, I didn't know Power was sick, with cancer or whatever, and he'd been battling for a couple of years now, from what I understand. But it was kind of surreal to hear that news, and even my mom texted me. My mom she said, "Did you see Wu-Tang is up for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?" And she was like, "Those are your guys." I was like, "Yeah, those are my guys." And
yes, ma'am.
My parents, they know, man. They know how I love the news, man. And so, like, just like us, we're hip hop fans. So we've literally grown with these groups. I mean, 36 Chambers came out in 93, So it's been over 30 years. And we've still been, like you mentioned, you were in middle school rocking with it.
Yeah.
And now we're grown and we're still listening to that music. And that's one of the things that I try to talk to younger kids, even my kids, about some of the music that they listen to. I'm like, I don't know necessarily that 30 years from now you're going to be listening to Fetty Wap or whoever you listening to. It's just not. You might be listening to Cole or Kendrick, but I don't think you're going to be listening to Lil Yachty 30 years from now.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but
no diss, but I mean, but this is hip hop, man.
Mm-hmm.
Apologize to these dudes, man. You know what it is. You know what I'm saying? This is hip hop. And real music stands the test of time, bro. Like if any of the cats that hear this episode, and Lord willing, inshallah, they do, just hear it as a call out. Like, because I mean, we're rooting for everybody,
right?
But stop playing us, B. Stop half stepping. You know what I'm saying? Power wasn't a half stepper. He'd have said the same thing. If you want to be relevant, think about this. Hip hop. If you know anything about like the 70s aesthetic, you got the afro, you got the butterfly collar, you got the bell bottoms, you got the 70s has a stamp as far as music, as far as slang, as far as I mean everything, culture, right? Fashion, culture. You jump it into the I mean, you got the 80s right there. I'm gonna just go 90s because we're talking about Wu-Tang, right? We're talking about power specifically. How far away are we from the 90s? We're further away from the 90s than we were from the 70s and the 90s, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Okay. Yep.
Young cats still dress like Power's influence. That's the point I'm trying to make. The caps are there, the baggy is there, the hoodie is there, the Wu-Tang emblem is there.
Yo, they
we weren't wearing bell bottoms and things that look like 70s, reminiscent of the 70s. In the 90s, we had our own thing. And I think in the 70s the 50s look different than the 70s. So if you're doing 2020, what's that? The 30s look different. The Great Depression looked different than the 50s. Right? We had a world war in the 40s. The 50s had their own joint. 60s was civil rights and all of that. Then the 70s got slick. And then the 80s showed up with the androgynous and all of that kind of stuff. But you know what I'm saying? But then the 90s showed up like this, and we very comfortably stayed. Like if you look at the shorties now, it looked like Power dressed them. And that's the point I'm trying to make as far as like stay power, man. And the point you're trying to make about music, I don't want anybody to hear this as like a dig. Hear it as a call out. Like God put something in you the same way he put something in them. And you just got to activate that shit. So 30 years from now, it's like, yo, that's what I'm saying. How many powers do we walk past that just ain't been activated, man? Because that brother was powerful. You got people who are kings, and you got people who are king makers. Right? And Power is an influence, dude. You didn't even need to see that he was there, but the cats that knew that needed to know knew.
They knew.
So
they knew for sure.
That's man. That's the talk. That's the cat we talking about right now. The influence, the 30 years later. You know what I'm saying? Where things, call it what you want to call it. You can call it stagnant, or you can call it whatever, but his influence is still just as real as it ever was right now.
Most definitely.
So we're basically saying if Power wasn't around, we wouldn't have got none of this with Wu-Tang Clan.
None of it. We'd have
none
of
it, man. None of it.
He's the unsung hero of the Wu-Tang Clan story.
Oh, no doubt. Rest in peace to Power, for real.
All right.
Exactly.
Focus, where can people hit you up at, man?
Yo, man, the Focus Gallery on Instagram. Let's just call it that, man. Instagram, TheFocusGallery, man. That's what it is.
Kyle, where can people get you up at? You've been cranking them out, man.
Trying to, man. New episodes every Thursday, 12 Kyle Podcast and the Rap Soul Podcast. Wherever you find podcasts, as well as YouTube as well. That's where I'm at.
All right, man. Well, thank y'all for listening as always, man.
Show.
And rest in peace to Power. You traveled this world well. You literally influenced millions and never had to pick up a mic.
It is.
Drew the Woo. All right, everybody. Peace.
It's like that. Peace.
What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the game never leaves G Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Ifs, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what-could-have-beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Ifs.